Have you ever wondered what it's like to witness the impossible? Those moments when everything seems lost, but the union of hearts, faith, and determination turns defeat into hope. That's exactly what happened when the 5 bronze saints fought side by side against Hades for the very first time in Saint Seiya. The battle against the god of the underworld wasn't just another fight. It was the ultimate confrontation between life and death, light and darkness, hope and despair. Hades wasn't like the enemies they had faced before. He wasn't just powerful, he was the embodiment of darkness itself, a being capable of extinguishing the flame of life with a single glance. And there they were, Saint Seiya, Shiryu, Hyoga, Shun and Ikki, each one carrying scars, memories, and pasts marked by pain, but also by friendship and the vow never to stop protecting Athena. This wasn't just another battle. It was the ultimate proof that the bronze saints, even from the lowest rank, could rise up against a god. The scene was grim. Hades' Cosmo covered everything like a suffocating shroud, draining hope even from the bravest. The silence between one attack and another felt eternal, as if time itself bent under the presence of a god. But then, something shifted. Saint Seiya, wounded, charged forward with Pegasus light in his eyes. By his side, Hyoga unleashed the absolute cold of Cygnus. Shiryu raised the might of the dragon. Shun brought the purity of Andromeda, and Ikki ignited everything with the fury of the phoenix. In that moment, it became clear, alone they might fall, but together they were unstoppable. And the most striking part, each strike wasn't just a technique, not just raw power. It was the sum of their stories. Seiya's fist carried the stubbornness of never giving up. Hyoga's ice was tempered by love and the loss of his mother. Shiryu's strength came from a heart willing to sacrifice everything. Shun's Cosmo reflected compassion amid war. And Ikki was living proof that pain could be turned into unyielding flame. They weren't just fighting Hades, they were fighting for all of us. Ad break in the middle of the video. And speaking of immortalizing moments of courage and unity, let me pause real quick. If you also want to record your own battles, whether it's a radical adventure, an unforgettable trip, or just hanging out with friends, you need to check out the GoPro Hero 1 Black action camera. With it, every detail becomes a memory in stunning quality, with ridiculously sharp images, stabilization that makes even the wildest moves look cinematic, and durability for any situation. Because just like the saints, there are moments you can't afford to miss. Back to the scene. When the 5 bronze saints raised their cosmos all at once, it was as if the entire universe held its breath. Their light clashed against Hades' darkness, and for an instant it felt like the world itself was about to split in two. It was a clash of ideals. On one side, the will to protect and fight for life. On the other, the cold arrogance of one who wanted to reduce everything to nothingness. And in that moment, the saints proved that true power doesn't come from birth, lineage, or divine blessings. True power comes from the courage to rise even when everything seems lost. And that, my friends, is what turned them into legends. Of course, the battle didn't end there. Hades was a terrifying enemy, almost unreachable. But the first time we saw the 5 bronze saints together against him was etched in fire and light as the meaning of fighting in unity. That scene became a symbol not only for Saint Seiya fans but for anyone who ever had to stand alongside those they love against forces far greater than themselves. And it's fascinating to think, 5 young men from different backgrounds, broken and painful pasts, managed to defy a god. What united them wasn't just training or destiny, but the silent promise that they would never abandon Athena, and that as long as they stood together, there would always be a chance for victory. That fight against Hades wasn't just a physical battle. It was a war of ideals, of resistance, of humanity against divinity. And by seeing the 5 bronze saints side by side, raising their cosmos to infinity, we understood why even gods tremble before human determination. So here's the question. If you stood face to face with absolute darkness, would you have the courage to join others and face the impossible? Or would you let the flame of hope die out before your eyes?